I was wrong in doing what I did.
No, no! No! Are you listening?
What makes you a monster? Many things. One of them is the inability to look in the mirror and see the monster. You may see a man or a woman. What you should be seeing is the face behind the mask. The true face of many people is not the one you see that they wear on a day-to-day basis. Lorne Armstrong has many faces, all of them ugly, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. He has no sympathy. He has no empathy. He cares for no one but himself. Should you ever think that this man cares about something other than himself, just know that whatever he cares about is serving a purpose for him. He's the kind of monster that attaches himself like a parasite to you. If you engage him, you're his. If you smile at him, you're his. Should you show him any attention at all for more than a split second, you are his. It doesn't take much for Lorne Armstrong to take ownership of someone or something. You are $1 on the street, a quarter under the soda machine, something that he found, something that he took ownership of. You don't have a choice, just like the money didn't have a choice. They went in his pocket, and if he had his way, you'd go into his trailer, and you may never be allowed outside. If you talk to him, he will use a tool called willful ignorance. It's something he has used all of his life, enough to know what it is and when to use it. See, Lorne is an actor, a very bad one, but an effective one with the right people. He has honed his craft over 50 years, crying, screaming, pouting, anything he can do to get what he wants. And believe us, he will get what he wants. If he gets what he deserves, he's going to have a breakdown. His entire life will come crashing down around him for a few days, in some cases for a few hours. Blocking him, trying to escape, having your friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents intervene, none of it will work. Getting called in the principal's office at school, it will not work. There is nothing you can do to detach yourself from this person you didn't want to be attached to in the first place. He's the monster you can look in the face and say, enough. I don't want this. I don't want to deal with this. And what this monster hears is that you don't like me in my current form. Allow me to shapeshift. Because that's what this cornrow redneck is. A shapeshifter. He will try to morph into whatever it is that might appease you long enough to where he can get his hooks into you. You will not be able to escape. The only way to escape is to move, or for this man to go to prison. This monster, you may say, we're done. I don't want to deal with you anymore. I want to leave. He won't hear that. What this monster hears is that she doesn't currently like what I'm saying to her. I shouldn't leave. I should figure out what it is she wants to hear, so I can say it. It will take the police to get him to leave you alone. Not even a restraining order can stop this man from finding you, showing up on your doorstep, telling you it was all a big misunderstanding, and that you guys just need to get to know each other. He will deny his interest in children. He will deny it till the day he dies. And whenever something goes wrong, specifically surrounding the fact that this monster can't pass rape class, that he can't admit what he did, that he fails polygraphs, proving that he still thinks about children in a sexual manner. No matter what he tells you, he doesn't have a job. He's $50,000 or more in debt, and he thinks it's funny. He claims that being in debt is building up his credit. His checking account and savings account are always negative. He borrows money from his mom, his sick mother. He claims she's an angel, but she produced a devil. who takes advantage of her at every turn. He had one person he thought was his friend, a person that needed beer to be brought over to deal with him, whose wife saw Lorne Armstrong for who he really was, what he really is. If he had to go to the bathroom, he couldn't go inside. If he was drunk, they would make him drive home rather than spending the night over there. And if he ever did spend the night, it was because he was passed out, on a table, on the porch. They never even checked on him. No one cares about him, but he cares about you. He will care about you a lot. Make sure you never speak to him. Don't offer to spend time. Quality time to him will be screaming at you, cursing at you, accusing you of cheating. These scenarios that he will make up in his head will become a reality. And even if you say hello to a man at the mall, you must be in love with him. Anything that makes Lorne mad, it becomes reality. If he believes that you're doing something, you're doing it. Even if you have proof to the contrary. You're a cheater. You're a bitch. And he will terrorize you. Be careful what you say around him. He will remember it. If you work somewhere and you talk about your boyfriend or your girlfriend, if you talk about money, God forbid where you live, he will remember it. He can't remember the terrible things he does, but he'll remember where you live. He will remember everything you say about your significant other, and he'll twist it and convince himself that you're single. All you need to see is what a great guy he really is. Lorne hasn't been effectively or definitively clinically diagnosed. He is bipolar. He has reactive attachment disorder. He also has every other syndrome you can think of when it comes to relationship OCD. He will think about you all day. He will do nothing but sit there with a Bluetooth headset stuck in his ear, waiting for you to call, texting you, counting the time between your return text and the initial one that he sent. He will remind you all of the time how long it takes you to get back with him. And he'll wonder why there was an extra 30 minutes in there. Because Lorne has no life. He has no friends. Going to the grocery probably happens once a month for this man. He doesn't understand traffic. He doesn't understand chores, daily routines, taking a nap. All of that time should be his. And if you don't give it to him, he's not going to be happy. He doesn't treat animals correctly. He doesn't treat dogs that are loyal to a fault kindly. It's no surprise that he doesn't treat people any better. He treats his brother Roy as a scapegoat, projects all of his insecurities, his doubts, his fears, his faults. All of them are projected onto Roy to make himself feel better. Roy's a bigger alcoholic than he is, so he must not be that bad. Roy is a rage monster more than he is, so he must not be that bad. Roy might beat women more than Lorne does, so Lorne must not be that bad. He's not going to look at himself, he's going to look at others. And you better get used to the term, the phrase, yeah, well, you. For 50 years, he has been claiming he's going to change, that he's changing little by little. Simple things, like screaming and yelling, cursing, accusing, abusing. He claims he's changing little by little, but over time we've seen he hasn't changed a bit. He'll say whatever it takes to get you to forgive him or possibly feel sorry for him. He will abuse you and then cry and manipulate you. And one thing that passive-aggressive Lorne loves to do is gaslight. You're not right. That's not what I said. No, I remember. That's not what I did. Well, I don't remember any of that. You just heard me wrong. He will set you ablaze when it comes to gaslighting. should you ever show him any attention at all, be prepared to be set afire, set ablaze, and sacrificed on the altar of Lorne's ego. He believes he can get any woman in the world. He believes the only reason he's not a country singer is because he tried to sleep with a 13-year-old girl, kidnap her, take her across state lines, not even sure he had the money to get her back to her parents. Lorne doesn't like to get in trouble. He would have kept that little girl because he knew there was a chance she could tell her parents. He knew if she went back, she might hook up with someone age appropriate. See, Lorne is a monster, and he will remain a monster. All women, all children are in danger. Animals are in danger. He has no business interacting with anyone. Probation and parole have not been able to fix him. The justice system has not been able to fix him. What makes you think you can? Stay away from him. He doesn't belong in your life. He belongs in prison.
Hang on, I can't even catch my breath. Hang on.
Yeah, this